Hi everyone. I'm Buddha Savika. I'm in Manchester in England. It's nice to be with you to lead morning meditation this morning. And the morning meditation that I'm going to be doing is excuse me. It's called Coming Home to the Earth, and it's something that I've been developing over time due to my condition, which is multiple sclerosis. I've been living with it since 2010, and over the years, I've adapted my practice of Iyengar yoga alongside the techniques learned in Buddhism uh, to kind of to relax really, relax with come home, relax with the earth, so I get tense and I get spasticity, especially on my left side. So I find it quite important to just soften and give myself up to the earth, and it kind of lends itself to my other passion, which is climate justice. Um, so I'm gonna say a few things which you might not be used to hearing, but just kind of just relax really, and it might hear one or two things that might sound a bit funny, but if you just kind of bear with me and try and kind of go with it, I mean it works for me really. So if you just want to get into your posture, and you can either have your eyes closed or 45 degrees down, depending on whichever's comfortable for you. So we're going to be meditating together until 20 to the hour. So maybe for about 35 minutes or so. So I'm going to lead us entirely. So no worries if you have no experience of practices we teach within Triratna. So I'll just lead us through it. So apologies if you hear one or two computer noises, but just kind of make it part of your practice, really. So I'll start just by turning our attention inwards, and when you close your eyes, you naturally look down your nose for some reason. So if you just imagine there's a TV screen in the back of your head, as weird as that sounds, just turning your attention inwards. Depending on your posture, just ensure your hands are supported. You could maybe have a pillow or a cushion on your knee. And try and make sure that you can have in a position where you're not basically going to fall asleep. And if that's what you need to do, then fair enough. But if you want to meditate, then perhaps try and bring a bit of alertness to your posture. So just starting by just engaging with the surface on which you're sitting. So, so for me, I'm on a chair, and I can feel that in the middle and small of my back, the back to my thighs. I can feel my feet on the floor. Already, I can try and relax into the earth just by giving my weight up to the surface, really. So I always do a bit of earth breathing, what I call earth breathing. So taking the breath from just below the soles of your feet, up the central channel through the top of your head, and then back down again through the soles of your feet. So if you just do that, and you can promote a sense of groundedness and also uplift of your spine. So your body can be like a mountain, and your head can be like the sky. So if you just do a few rounds of earth breathing. We're just going to run through the body from the head to the feet. And just slightly becoming aware of the body. So starting with the roots of your hair and the crown of your head. So just becoming aware of the scalp. Any tactile sensations there? You can imagine the pores in the scalp are opening, relaxing. And moving down now to the eyebrows, the skin at the eyebrows, and the skin between the eyebrows. Just having a sense of softness here. So your forehead is free from worry, free from lines. And now, especially if you've been, if you've been doing something first thing this morning, your eyeballs might be a bit hard. If you've been looking into the computer screen, which you have. So you can just become aware of the temples, both sides of your head. And that softens the eyeballs as eyeballs can just, in your imagination, they can just shrink. You can even get a sense of them slipping behind the cheekbones. So just now becoming aware of the skin behind your ears where your glasses touch. Let the skin be soft. Now moving down the face to the area where guys grow a moustache. So the upper lip. You can imagine that the skin is spreading to the left and spreading to the right. Just letting the whole mouth be free from tension. Now just becoming aware of the jaw, the lips and the tongue. The tongue can just sit in the bottom palate, it doesn't need to do anything. In the cavity of your mouth, it can be like a cathedral with a high ceiling. So there's no tension held here. And this is a weird thing to say, but see if you can become aware of your gums and your teeth. I find this one really useful, actually. So we're now just going to become aware of the neck. And so just engaging with the top of your neck where it joins the base of your skull, which is the atlas joint. And like with the earth breathing, that in, when we did that, we promoted a sense of kind of uplift, but see if you can imagine a sense of spaciousness between the atlas joints and the base of your skull. So moving down the neck, the vertebrae separated by discs in the neck. So the muscles in your neck, they need to work if you're sitting up. So your head doesn't flop, but you can still have a sense of softness there. And your shoulders, they can just drop. They can be supported by your hands on the cushion. And so you can sweep across each shoulder. And you can imagine the shoulder joint is open or opening. And then you can imagine, and I like water analogies, I think they're useful. You can imagine the arms are falling out of the shoulder joints like a waterfall. And you can feel a fizzing at your hands, the nerve endings here, and that's like a pool, like a waterfall pool. So you can just release everything that you're holding in the arms and just give it up. Just working down the spine, the bones and the discs in the spine can be like a long S shape. You can maybe, depending on how you're sitting, but feel the touch of your chair in the sort of middle back. And then if you can engage with the breath in the back body, it's like really soothing. Just having an awareness that the breath is 360, not just at the front. You can feel the breath at the front of the body. And I sometimes imagine that my breath is like the tide, coming and going, just lifting and falling. The chest is just moving. And you can feel the touch of your clothes. You can feel your belly. It's like a pond. Another water analogy, but it's like a pond. You can sense the breath in the belly. There's an echo of the breath here. Just a little swelling. Try not to hold tension in your belly. Many people do. Just working down your trunk now. And you can feel the touch of your chair. Maybe you can feel the sacrum joint at the bottom of your spine pressing against the chair. It's good to release that sacrum joint, which is sometimes an area where I hold tension, so I need to work at releasing that. And then just engaging with your sitting bones just on the seat. Just supporting your torso. Just checking the other areas that we've run through. Just check no habitual tension is there again. If it is, just releasing the tension. So again, like with the shoulder joints, I imagine the joints that connect the legs and the body, I just think that they're opening again. And then a waterfall is your limb is just falling out of your body. And collecting at the pools of your feet, and the fizzy pools. Lots of sensation in the nerve endings there. But your feet are firmly planted on the floor. You're connected to the earth. And again, your body can be like a mountain. You can just give your whole way up to the surface. You can check in with your heart center in the middle of your chest or wherever you feel your heart center. You can just check out how you're doing today. Are you feeling like sleepy or awake or something else? Just noticing. Might feel excited, you might feel a bit dull. So it's just what you're working with, whatever you feel. Now you can check out again the breath in the chest, in the belly. Should have said I have no bell with me, but so I'll just bring us round with my voice. Yeah, so we're just gonna do the mindfulness of breathing, 4 stages, but we're not gonna do counting. So I find counting a little bit, I don't know, it works for some, but I like to give this a go. In the first stage, we're just going to become aware of the out breath just by elongating it slightly. Not so you feel the tension in your chest, but just just slightly, just doing a few rounds of that, and then just returning to normal breathing again. It might be the breath today. Your breath is you're naturally breathing better, or you breathe out better. So I suggest that if you just got up, your out breath will be longer anyway. So just maybe enjoying this stage of the practice. And just if you notice any sounds or thoughts creeping in, just don't worry about it. And just when you notice, just return to the conditioning of the breath and then the resting stage. Yeah, don't make yourself breathless or anything. Just slightly conditioning the breath on the out breath. Just noticing what effect it has on your body. So just flipping from the two kind of sections of this stage, just playing about with the out breath elongation and the normal stage. Your normal breath, should I say? We're now just closing this stage and moving on to the second stage. So we're going to elongate the in breath in this stage. So again, no counting, just a bit of lengthening of the in breath. Again, like the last stage, just when you've done that for a bit, just returning to the your natural breath, however it is. It does have a bit of a different quality this stage. It's a bit more kind of active in a way. I quite enjoy this stage, especially if I'm feeling sort of fatigue, which I feel with my condition. I find this stage useful. All the time whilst retaining a completely relaxed body. So giving up again and again if you notice. So it's definitely a practice. So you get better with the more you do it, really. Well, you get less distracted, should I say. Again, like the previous stage, just flipping about with the sections of this stage, just having normal breath and then conditioning the breath just between the two. We'll see what differences there are between the two kind of phases. Notice if you really like this stage, so you don't want to flip the stage. Maybe you do if you're tired. You like this stage. Yeah, not worrying if you get lost in thought or physical sensation. Just returning when you notice. Maybe you have for some like habitual tension or pain. Just tending to that, just trying to soften anything that you feel. So I'm just going to move on to the third stage now. In this stage, I equalize the in breath and the out breath. So there's not many people that have an equal in breath and out breath. I don't think, but you might do. So just using a slight elongation or slight shortening of different phases of the breath, and then just returning to your normal breathing. Just doing that. Again, this has a bit of a different feel to it. See if you're enjoying this stage. You can even check out if your left lung or your right lung is breathing in better, breathing out better. Just notice if you want to maintain the conditioning phase or want to maintain your normal breath phase, whatever. But maybe see if you can sort of split the phase, split the stage into two phases. Just continuing to give your weight up to the earth. Not holding, not resisting. Just maintaining an interest in the breath as it comes and goes. Let the shoulders be soft. In a minute, we'll move on to the final stage. Just having 30 more seconds of this stage. So in the fourth and final stage, we're not conditioning the breath at all. We're just letting the breath just be a breath in your body. Whatever your breathing pattern is like today, just going with that, just releasing the effort of the conditioning phase. And in Iyengar yoga practice, there's a relaxation aspect to it, which is called Shavasana. I think this mostly resembles that. So you tend into your posture, you tend into your tension, and you're also noticing the natural breath as it's coming and going. So, you might have a longer in breath, a longer out breath. You might be able to feel the lungs inflating, touching your chest, touching your clothes. Might be able to feel in the back body, or the armpit chest. maybe watching your breath for a while. You might notice your emotional tone. Is it different now to what it was? Feel a bit more relaxed, a bit less tense. Maybe even a bit happier. So just following the breath, just doing that for another couple of minutes. Now we're going to bring the practice to a close shortly. So maybe just feeling, just sensing the outside. Spent a lot of time looking at the inside, so perhaps I've had a sense of the room that you're sitting in. Just checking out the temperature of the air. You can even bring some movement to your fingers and your toes just to get your body moving again. So when you're ready, just in your own time, just returning back to the Zoom room and gently opening the eyes. So yeah, so that's the coming home to the earth practice. What you do, which precedes my whatever practice I'm doing after. So I hope you kind of took something from that practice. As I say, it kind of works for me and my conditions, but obviously work with your own conditions. But yeah, so nice to practice with you, and I wish you well for the forthcoming conference. Thank you.